Hi, this is Jeremy Pierson. Welcome to Practical Spirituality. Today's video is actually a follow-up video. It's a second part to the previous video is titled The Cactus and the Thorn. And that's where I talked about the prisons that we build around old emotional wounds and pain. So you can check out that video. It'd be great if you watch that one before you watch this one. However, I'm going to attempt what I wrote, I attempt to make it possible for you to just listen to this one by itself too. So if you don't get a chance to listen to the other video, then that's okay. This one will work fine. But I think it could give you a deeper understanding. So if you find yourself confused, please go back to the previous video. But you could start with this one too. Check it out, see if it works. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through a 7-step process that I'm calling identifying and removing the thorn. So this is something that I wrote in case you are wondering why I keep looking down. I am reading something, but I'm going to take breaks periodically while I'm reading it to expand on things that I think might be helpful to expand on. Okay, so here we go. So this is called identifying and removing the thorn. So the thorn is not the original event. The thorn is the unresolved emotional pain still living inside the nervous system, identity, or belief structure after the event. The cactus may have touched us years ago, but the thorn remained. And once the thorn remains, life begins organizing around protecting it. This process is not about blaming yourself for pain. It's about learning how to identify where suffering is still being unconsciously carried so healing can finally occur. Okay, so here we go. I do recommend that if you don't already have it, just take a break for a second and go get some paper and a pen so that you can write things down. And as we go through these steps, pause the video so you can answer the questions by writing down the answers. If you want to just listen to it and do it mentally, that's fine. That can be really helpful and bring a lot of awareness. But I think that it's important to know that really nothing compares to putting paper to pen. So I do recommend pausing this video as you go along and actually doing the work. But if you're not ready to do that, just listen to it first. That might actually help if you feel like you're not ready to answer the questions. Just listen to it all the way through and see what happens as a result. Okay, so here we go. Step 1, identify the trigger. The first clue that a thorn exists is usually emotional reactivity. So ask yourself these questions. What situation or person consistently creates a strong emotional reaction in me? What feels disproportionately painful, threatening, irritating, or overwhelming? Where do I become unusually defensive, shut down, controlling, avoidant, angry, or hypervigilant? What type of behavior in others feels almost intolerable to me? You see, the trigger itself is not the thorn. The trigger is the pressure touching the thorn. Okay, step 2. Separate the cactus from the thorn. This is one of the most important steps in this process. Ask yourself, what is the actual behavior happening externally? What story or emotional meaning is my nervous system attaching to it? Is my suffering coming only from the present moment, or is this touching older pain? Here I'm going to give a few examples. So some examples of a cactus, and then I'll give some examples of some thorns, and then I'll show you how they go together. So a cactus may be someone being distant, someone criticizing, someone leaving, someone raising their voice, someone not choosing you, someone being emotionally unavailable. The thorn may be abandonment, rejection, humiliation, betrayal, invisibility, fear of not being lovable, fear of being unsafe, fear of not mattering. You see, the cactus touches the wound, the thorn creates the intensity. So I'm going to put some of those sample examples together. So let's say that the cactus was someone being distant. So the thorn might be feeling like you don't matter. If the cactus is someone criticizing you, the thorn might be humiliation. If the cactus is someone leaving, the thorn may be rejection. If someone doesn't choose you, if that's the cactus, the thorn may be betrayal. So I think you get the point. So I'm going to go ahead and go on now. Step 3. Identify the protection system. Once we are wounded, the psyche creates strategies to avoid touching the thorn again. So in the previous video, I talked about how the psyche begins revolving around the wound. In other words, the thorn and the wound become the center of gravity. We certainly don't want our whole life to revolve around it, but it does. And we start to create entire personalities, entire lives, our entire lifestyle may be revolving around making sure nothing like that ever happens to me again. That's not me living as myself. That's me living to protect a wound. So that's what we want to really look at here. Identify the protection system. So once we're wounded, the psyche creates strategies to avoid touching the thorn again. So here's the questions we ask. What behaviors have I developed to protect this wound? What defenses appear when this pain gets activated? And this is a really important one. How have I organized my life around avoiding this feeling? Here are some examples. People pleasing, perfectionism, emotional withdrawal, anger, hyperindependence, controlling behavior, avoidance, addiction, over-explaining, shutting down, performing, numbing, rescuing others, spiritual bypassing, and my personal favorite, righteousness and superiority. The protection system is not bad. It was trying to help you survive. But survival strategies become prisons when they are never updated. So essentially, we're noticing that this is a maladaptive strategy. So it may have worked at some point in time, but it's time for me to update my strategies. Okay, now we're going to move to step 4, locate the original pain. Ask gently, when have I felt this before? And it's important when I say ask gently, it's because there's a lot of sensitivity around this stuff. So this is a good time to practice my spiritual practice, whatever that may be. If you pray, meditate, if you have spirit guides, if you call on God, your higher self, love, whatever it is that helps you feel safe, protected, guided, and supported. Now is the time. So that'll allow you, the safer that you feel, the more honest you're going to be able to be. So we ask gently, with no judgment, when have I felt this before? What does this feeling remind me of? When did I first learn that this emotion was dangerous? What memory, relationship, or environment carries this same emotional tone? Listen, do not force anything. Don't force memory retrieval. Often the body remembers emotionally before the mind remembers intellectually. So just let yourself feel what's there and let it come up. You may not make any sense out of it right away. Just give it time. Just give it time. Just note what your experience is and let it be. In 12-step programs, we always say more will be revealed. Okay? So this step was about recognition, not dramatic excavation. So we're not going in there with a jackhammer or sandblaster. We're just going in there with a little brush, maybe a little pick to poke at it a little bit, but it's gentle and gradual as it reveals itself. Okay, step 5. Stop fighting the feeling. Most suffering intensifies because we resist the emotional experience. We tense against it. We judge it, suppress it, distract from it, try to escape it. So instead, pause, breathe, allow the emotion to exist without becoming the emotion. Just gently say, this feeling is present. This pain is moving through me. I do not need to become the wound. Healing often begins when the nervous system no longer feels abandoned by awareness. Just think for a moment about a garden hose, and you put your thumb over the end of the garden hose, how that pressurizes the water and makes it distorted and sharp and intense. But if I just let the water flow, that's how I want to experience the emotions as they come up. If I avoid it or try to suppress it, it's going to create tension and resistance. And I often learn to be afraid of my emotions, but I don't even really know what they're like when they're allowed. I'm afraid of how the emotion comes through when it's resisted. So that's what this part is about. I don't want to become the wound. I want to allow myself to feel it. So let awareness be there. Awareness. We don't have to fix anything. Just become aware. Okay, so next is step 6. And again, I just want to say that I'm going through this way faster than you're probably going to go through it. You could be listening to this and getting some awareness and insight from it. But what I really recommend is going slowly, pause, answer the questions, and then go to the next one. Not necessarily as fast as I'm going through it right now. But hey, if it's working for you, going through it this fast, wonderful. Okay, step 6, remove the thorn. We're going to remove the thorn through awareness and compassion. We don't go in there and pull it out. Just by noticing it and keeping our attention on it, it naturally starts to come through. The thorn begins dissolving when the pain is acknowledged honestly, when the emotion is allowed safely, when the false beliefs surrounding the wound are questioned. When the nervous system experiences presence instead of avoidance. And when the identity built around the wound begins softening. So we just stay with it, notice it, become aware of it, care about it, acknowledge it. That's it. We're not trying to get rid of anything. It's naturally going to come out because it doesn't belong there. Just like a thorn would naturally want to come out. As long as I don't keep forcing it to stay in or protecting it, it will naturally work its way out. Okay, so here are the questions we're going to ask to assist with this part of the process. 1, what did I begin believing because of this pain? So number 1 is, what did I begin believing because of this pain? 2, is that belief absolutely true? And that's important. Absolutely true, meaning there's no doubt at all. So 1, what did I begin believing because of this pain? 2, is it absolutely true? And 3, What would change if I no longer organized my identity around this wound? So what did I begin believing because of the pain? Is that belief actually true? And what would happen if I no longer organized my identity around this wound? Many thorns remain because the wound became part of the identity. I am unwanted. I'm not enough. I always get abandoned. This always happens to me. I can't trust people. Healing is not pretending the pain never happened. Healing is removing the identity formed around the pain. I also like to say that healing happens when I no longer believe myself to be a wounded person. Essentially, I'm just removing the belief that I'm broken. Okay, that's a whole nother video, so I won't get too much into that right now. I'll come back to that in another video. All right, step 7, practice new relationship with life. So once the thorn begins healing, life changes naturally. The goal is not to eliminate all cactuses from the world. The goal is to stop reacting to every cactus as though it has the power to destroy you. This creates healthier boundaries, clearer discernment, less projection, less hypervigilance, greater emotional freedom, and more capacity for intimacy and peace. So in closing, ask yourself these questions. What thorn am I still organizing my life around protecting? How much energy has gone into defending the wound instead of healing it? And what would my life look like if I no longer needed to build emotional fortresses around pain? Because freedom does not come from controlling the desert. Freedom comes from removing the thorn. All right, I hope that this process has been helpful for you. If it has, please, you can leave me a message, like this video, share it with other people that you think might be interested. That helps the algorithm get the message out. I also want you to know that if you've struggled with any of this, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about it. I am available for one-on-one coaching. I'd also just, if you have opinions about it or questions about it, I'd love to talk to you. So let's connect. My email address is info@jppracticalspirituality.com. That's info@jppracticalspirituality.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Jeremy L. Pierson. That's JeremyLPierson. So you can direct message me there. I'd love to hear from you. And you're probably watching this on my YouTube channel, but if not, if you're watching it somewhere else, check out my YouTube channel. It's Jeremy Pierson Practical Spirituality. I'm also on TikTok, so find me somewhere, find some way to get in touch with me. I'd love to talk to you more. If you have questions about it, that can also help me make other videos. So share this with people. Come find me, talk to me about it. Reach out if you'd like some help. And until next time, remember that the light always wins. Everything is useful in our life. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be well.